Hold on right quick. Hey, how everybody doing? What's up, everybody?
We are here.
Good. Yeah, we are here. Want to give everybody a hand clap for being here.
Come on, sound effects.
Yeah, we in that thing, man. We
Come
in that
on.
thing, man.
I didn't even
Yes,
hear the
sir.
sound effects, man. I missed it.
Yeah. You go again. I'll clap because you missed it. You see what I'm saying?
Mike need his own round of applause. That's all.
Yeah.
Nah.
Tonight we're gonna be talking about a touchy subject, which is domestic violence. And Mike, would you please say that disclaimer you said?
I would like to start by saying that I do not advocate for domestic violence. Rather, it's man on woman or woman on man. I don't like it either way. I just don't want none of my comments to get misconstrued or twisted or flipped as if I condone it. Because I don't. I'm just simply presenting my points from a male point of view. That's it.
Yeah, and same here with me too, because I might say some things that might sound a little harsh or whatever, but I'm finna start off, and I didn't do what I was supposed to do because I was supposed to start off with a video, but I'm gonna start off with this right here. All right, here we go.
Today's topic is, what is domestic violence? Types, symptoms, treatment, and more. Domestic violence is a widely used term for acts of violence that take place in households with the intent of harm. Although it can encompass child and elder abuse as well, the term is most commonly used to refer to violence between individuals sharing an intimate relationship. It often involves one partner using intimidation and assault to assert control over the other. A victim may endure economic, sexual, and psychological abuse as well. Domestic violence has only recently been recognized as a major health issue, having been a part of many cultures around the world for millennia. It is important to recognize domestic violence as an aberration and seek help to end it. Here's everything you need to know to help with that. Types. Domestic violence includes physical, economic, sexual, and psychological abuse. An abuser commits their acts of violence to assert authority and manipulate the victim. Acts of physical violence include 1. Pinching, 2. Slapping, 3. Tripping, 4. Punching, 5. Grabbing, 6. Twisting of arms or legs, 7. Pulling hair, 8. Beating, 9. Choking, 10. Pushing, 11. Biting, and 12. Use of a weapon. Psychological violence may be carried out by 1. Threatening emotional or physical harm.
Let me ask y'all this: Have y'all has anybody experienced or seen anything like that?
Hmm.
Definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
would you like to elaborate on it? Oh, let me say this too. I know this might be a touchy subject for some people, so if any of this triggers anything in you and you want to leave the podcast, we understand. We don't want to bring up no emotions or anything with anybody. So who want to open up?
Go ahead, CJ.
No, Mike, you can go ahead tonight. I always start first.
Uh, well, I won't say the person's name, but nonetheless. One day was I was coming from wedding reception or whatever, and let's just say me and this person was drunk, but I wasn't that drunk to where I was out of there because I had to drive home, so obviously I can't get too wasted anyway. So we get back to the house. Said person just, I guess, thought of something, some type of hurt feelings or whatever, some type of triggering feelings, and all of a sudden just started swinging on me. And I'm like, damn, like, bro, this is real crazy. Like I said, I didn't understand what's going on at first because I was a little inebriated. But after a while, I started coming to it, and I started understanding exactly what was going on. And man, it was just, I just had to leave the situation. Let's just say that I had to leave the house because had I stayed, who knows what would have happened, right? And then I understand that I've gone pushed everything, but if I swing one time and it could slightly connect, it's gonna end bad. So that was my little rub rush with DV.
Go CJ.
Um, so of course, shared it with you all on our back end of conversation, pre-podcast or whatever, but I definitely have experienced domestic violence. That's why I am divorced from the previous marriage, and it's not anything that's a secret or whatever. I even told the story with the nonprofit and the mentoring program and whatnot or whatever. But the thing about that was having actually been through some growing up where I saw it. It was first introduced in my home as a kid. We saw my mother be abused by a boyfriend, and so it was never it was never something that was made to be normal. So I always had an issue. That's where I didn't like bullies or being bullied or whatever. And I think we kind of talked about that. So like the video said, there's a lot of different ways that domestic violence can actually be identified. So for me, it was just a little bit heartbreaking because I asked the questions before going into the relationship. And the questions that I asked was, have you ever experienced domestic violence, regardless if it was something that you saw or if it was something that you actually participated in? And I was told, no, I'm not the violent type, and if I feel like it's going left or whatever, I'll just get up and walk away before I put my hands on a woman. And that it was the total opposite. Once the mask and everything would come off, the aggression would come if there was a moment where I wasn't agreeing with him, or if he felt like his voice was not being heard. And so then the expression would be to put his hands over my mouth or just basically try to shut me up. And so that would lead to me having to defend myself. And I asked those questions because I was not going to be in a domestic violence situation, especially having kids and wanting kids to grow up in a healthy environment. So I decided that I wasn't going to take it, and I removed myself from the situation, which is why I am a divorced woman now. But then I'll take it back to say previous, and then I'm going to be quiet, be mindful of our time. I had to go back and apologize to a previous boyfriend because when I was younger, I thought it was okay that if we got into it and my feelings get out of control, I can push and I can shove. That was what I had saw. And so later on, I would learn, through therapy and growing up, women can actually be the aggressors of the domestic violence. And so I had to check myself and then began to understand that by seeing it, I thought it was okay. So at one point I was the aggressor, and then on the other side, I was the actual receiver.
Mm. Michelle and B, y'all got anything on that?
Well, I didn't seen it. I had a associate of mine, and it was like him. One minute he the aggressor, the next minute she the aggressor, because she'll just go off and attack him, and then there they go, or he'll go off and attack her, and it's like, okay, and y'all doing this in front of company, y'all doing this in front of y'all children. She got a pot one time and just hit him across the face with the pot. And and they was having to get together. So, and it's like, yeah, y'all doing this in front of people, let alone your children. But you couldn't tell them nothing, you try to talk to them, and then, they go an argument and stay out their business. So, I I stopped going around and hanging out because I don't want to see that. And
So I'm
Um,
trying to think. Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
well, I was just gonna say that y'all, I know expressed that BJ is my first love. We were 10 and 11 when we met. We only 7 months apart. I was with BJ until I was 17. Told him I wanted to get married when we, got 18 and, let's settle down. He didn't want to do that. So I broke up with him. And I didn't want to be with him no more. So I ran to the first person that gave me attention, which was a 41-year-old man.
Mm.
I was with the man for 10 years. He verbally abused me and physically abused me. I was depressed and I wanted to kill myself. And then one day I decided I didn't have to deal with this no more. And guess who popped up? He did. And it's been 10 years.
Man, I wish I would have played that cause that video pretty long. It's pretty long. And it talks about manipulation and with the domestic violence. But I'm finna play this right quick, and I want to see, do y'all agree with what this lady say in this video
There
right
have
here?
been some notable developments in the domestic violence, gun violence space. One that gives me concern is the growing emphasis on there being a strong link between mental health or mental health illnesses and gun violence, particularly among domestic abusers. And that's simply stated not true. Yes, there are instances where someone who is a domestic abuser also has mental health issues, but mental health issues do not cause domestic violence. They do not cause gun violence. And so it's not a simple matter of let's put all of our energy and resources into mental health and that will alleviate our issues with gun violence. I think that it needs to be made very clear to people that focusing in on mental health as a way to avoid changing gun laws is not going to solve the problem.
Do y'all agree with her?
No,
I
I don't.
I don't totally agree with her.
Yeah, everything.
I think I understand. I think I understand what she's saying. She's saying don't blame mental health for you choosing to be violent. I think that's what she's saying. I kind of wanted to listen to it again,
Okay, I'll
but
play it again.
okay.
I'll play it again.
There have been some notable developments in the domestic violence, gun violence space. One that gives me concern is the growing emphasis on there being a strong link between mental health or mental health illnesses and gun violence, particularly among domestic abusers. And that's simply stated not true. Yes, there are instances where someone who is a domestic abuser also has mental health issues, but mental health issues do not cause domestic violence. They do not cause gun violence. And so it's not a simple matter of let's put all of our energy and resources into mental health and that will alleviate our issues with gun violence. I think that it needs to be made very clear to people that focusing in on mental health as a way to avoid changing gun laws is not going to solve the problem.
So let me ask you this: is PTSD a mental health issue?
So, uh,
yeah,
okay, like I got some questions now. Like now I have to ask her some questions now because I need to understand something.
Say, go and speak on it, Mike.
Because okay, what if? Damn, like that's a lot to unpack, bro.
It is. It really is.
It is so many starting points. Like, all right, if violence isn't a psychological response, then what is it? Because
Yeah,
psychological and emotional can go hand in hand.
right. Because I believe that's why.
So, eh,
That what? Go ahead, Mike.
damn, and that's why I need okay. And if she's saying there's a strong link, see, I don't know. I didn't research these numbers, like so. I'm interested to know, like, what were the when it wasn't a strong link, what was the stat saying? And now that there is a quote unquote strong link, what are the stats saying now? Because it's too many violent mental health. There's too many mental health issues that's linked with violence that can be violent, like schizophrenia,
Without domestic violence.
like like schizophrenia, bipolar, like
Yeah.
damn.
And yeah, I didn't really too much agree with that, but that's why I played the because I mean, if you in if you in an abusive relationship, like Michelle just said, she was depressed, this, that, and third, that fucked with her mental.
Right.
And I believe gun violence because if I showed that it didn't have a gun in it, but if I would have showed that domestic violence on what is domestic violence video all the way through, the dude was sitting at the table talking to his wife with a knife in his hand.
And you don't tell me that's not a psychological
That because it's playing on the mental and as the male, hold on, who is this?
bro, that's I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's
Hey,
very
what's up, mama?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? We I know you know the topic is domestic violence, and this is we call her Uncle Tam, but this is my friend Tam, and she's been in a domestic violence relationship, and I wanted her to come on and talk about it. Plus, we'll talk about that part later though about the tea cakes. But go ahead, Mike.
but no, I'm just saying, like, that's a hell of a statement without a lot of context behind it, I guess. Cause like CJ say, I don't totally disagree, but I definitely don't totally agree either.
Yeah, because I'm like
Just bring it
like
with
you,
her.
Mike. Like it still goes back to the psyche for somebody to
Yeah,
pick up a
cause
gun and be so emotional over whatever, and then the end game is to harm somebody with the weapon. There's some psychological something going
and,
on somewhere.
and normally when people are being the abuser, I'm sure I know it's gonna sound crazy, but just 1 second. I'm sure they get some type of psychotic thrill out of it, right?
I
Because
agree.
I
why
need to
would
play that what is domestic violence all the way through. It's just 5 minutes long. That's why I didn't want to play. It says all that in there. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
so
maybe you should play it. We got time.
Well, y'all want? Okay, well, I'm finna play it.
Today's topic is what is domestic violence? Types, symptoms, treatment, and more. Domestic violence is a widely used term for acts of violence that take place in households with the intent of harm. Although it can encompass child and elder abuse as well, the term is most commonly used to refer to violence between individuals sharing an intimate relationship. It often involves one partner using intimidation and assault to assert control over the other. A victim may endure economic, sexual, and psychological abuse as well. Domestic violence has only recently been recognized as a major health issue, having been a part of many cultures around the world for millennia. It is important to recognize domestic violence as an aberration and seek help to end it. Here's everything you need to know to help with that. Types. Domestic violence includes physical, economic, sexual, and psychological abuse. An abuser commits their acts of violence to assert authority and manipulate the victim. Acts of physical violence include 1. Pinching, 2. Slapping, 3. Tripping, 4. Punching, 5. Grabbing, 6. Twisting of arms or legs, 7. Pulling hair, 8. Beating, 9. Choking, 10. Pushing, 11. Biting, and 12. Use of a weapon. Psychological violence may be carried out by 1. Threatening emotional or physical harm, 2. Threats of child abuse, 3. Threatening to publicly reveal the victim's sexual orientation, 4. Threatening suicide, 5. Threatening to take children away, 6. Threatening or harming pets, And 7, threatening to harm family. Emotional abuse can involve 1. Playing mind games. 2. Laying the blame for anything on the victim. 3. Putting you down. 4. Treating you like a servant. 5. Not allowing you to make any big decisions. And 6. Making you feel bad about yourself. Types of sexual abuse include 1. Treating you as a sex object. 2. Making you perform sexual activities against your will. Moreover, an abuser might not allow any economic freedom, such as having a job or a separate bank account. An abuser may also isolate the victim socially to keep control at all times. Signs and symptoms. Most signs of domestic violence are hard to spot, as a victim might hide them out of guilt and fear. Physical violence will cause injuries that will show up. However, the victim may try to offer explanations that will not make sense. Domestic violence also takes a big psychological toll on the victims. They might become quieter and less sociable. Victims may also start to lose motivation for regular activities and become depressed and increasingly anxious. Treatment. It is important to find protection and help as soon as possible. Witnesses should report any instances of domestic violence, while victims should develop safety plans for protection if they live with the abuser. It is important to engage the abuser as little as possible and to avoid confrontation or arguments in tight spaces or close rooms. Quick access to a phone is important to call for help in case of a physical threat. Once away, the victim might struggle for years with the trauma and may require counseling and psychotherapy to continue their regular life.
Thank you for watching our video. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our latest videos.
Shout out to what's up, Cross? That's my boy Cross, y'all.
Salute all the kings and queens on the panel. I just want to come in, tap in with my boy, Monkey Man. I'm proud of you, bro. You're doing your thing, man. I was sitting there watching, man. That's pretty deep, man. That a lot of people don't even know that, even just to the point where pension and things like that, as far as domestic abuse, it kind of messed me up right there. I'm just saying I don't do that, but I'm just saying most people don't even know that, or putting a woman down or putting a man down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm tapped in with you.
Threatening to take kids away. That is interesting.
Yeah. Yes. That's a fact.
So let me ask you this. So what I just played with that lady said counteracts everything that they saying, right? Because she's acting like domestic violence, gun violence, and mental health is all three separate things. Like they not one in the man just said you gonna need psychological help. It was one, and I wish I would have kept it on here. I should have kept it on here. It was where the lady went to the jailhouse. The women went to the jailhouse to confront all the inmates that was in there for domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? Because she was in a domestic violence relationship, and she went to talk to the guys that was locked up behind domestic violence, and it was kind of deep. I didn't get all the way into it, but I got somewhat into it. So at the end of the day, like when you see people, like sometimes you never know. Because I always thought domestic violence was physical violence. I didn't know it was verbal abuse. I didn't know it was psychological manipulation. Like, because really too. I think Mike was saying that was you saying, Mike, that the guy has mental health problems too?
No, I'm saying like you gotta, if you're domestic abuse, an abuser of any kind, you gotta be getting some type of psychotic thrill out of it, like because it's something off mentally, right?
Well, like they said before, it's more of a control. Like they said, they become a servant to you. It's like you getting off on the fact that, think about it, like most of those people like that, when they go out, they can't control the situation, but that person they can.
And off is a state of mind, right? Is a
without
mental.
Yeah,
without a
because
doubt.
hurt people hurt people. And so if
Fact,
you're not healed, you want to cause hurt that was caused to you. And so that's when you become the abuser and you get the
They
satisfaction out of seeing that the victim hurt.
and it's called a psychological response.
There you go.
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So Tam, would you like to say anything?
I would like to say yes, I agree with everyone on the panel, but there's also another side to this because it's not just mental, it's not just physical and emotional, it's also a spiritual aspect to it. Because if you look at an abuser, you can go back and look at that abuser's family. Trust me, he's not the only one that has been an abuser. So it's like it's a cycle that just continues to happen over and over and over.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
cause
I I
So
was even talking to somebody. I was on the panel the other day, earlier today, and I was telling them, I think we kind of sometimes, and this is my perspective of it. I think a lot of times we get empathy and sympathy confused. A lot of times people are stuck in relationships because of sympathy and not having empathy for each other because it's again opposites attract. I was just telling my homeboy, opposites attract. So if you have a lot of empathy, you're gonna attract somebody with, far as sympathy, meaning as in they're expecting you to do for them. And a lot of times we don't really speak up because we justify a lot of times. Like there's a lot of people, a lot of men, verse and women too are very empathetic. So a lot of times we get put in these relationships, whether it be abusive or whatever, we make excuses because we have empathy for that person. But at the same time, that person really is with you because they're looking at, like they said, the servant part is sympathy.
right.
That's just my point of view on it though.
word, brother, word.
Yeah, man.
I
Check it.
I want
Go
to
ahead.
I want to add something to that too, because that's where the cycle keeps getting repeated on both ends. Even the empathetic person has to pause and ask themselves, why do you keep being empathetic to these type of people? It
Fact.
may be because you're attracted to that familiar spirit and you
Yep.
need to heal from whatever your past is that keeps you tied to that type of
Right.
situation.
That's right. That's right. Well, and that's having understanding, or most people say knowledge of self, understanding what your worth is. Once you understand your self worth, then no one can alter, bend, or waver your worth. Like you say, spiritual wise, again, even in the word, it says you got to have the gift of discernment. So you got to understand when game is being ran on you, no matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if they loved you, they would love you to help you build, not, like even the word they say, I know they say a wise woman, but we could just say, we just put the analogy of people in general. People in general, if a wise person will build you up, but a fool can pluck you down. So I think a lot of times we put a lot of emphasis in people instead of into having knowledge of self, understanding your self-worth. Once you understand your self-worth, you know what you worth. It's like with a car. You ain't gonna sell no Mercedes Benz for $2,000 when you know what the worth of the value is. Once you understand and you did the research and the worth of the value, and I think a lot of times in our culture, we lack the understanding of what our worth is. So we kind of like sell it for less. And then somebody else resells it for more. So that's just my thing.
Now,
I would
now,
like to
now,
add to what both of you guys just stated because what the sister stated was absolutely spot on, and so is you. Because with the spirit, yes, there are things, it's a cycle. And yes, people do need to know their worth. But to add to, because I've been in this situation before, I can look at my mother's side of the family and I can see the line of them receiving abuse. And I can look at my
Fact,
father's side of the family and I can see the line of abusers. So it's like
fact,
they go hand in hand. However, like until somebody, like you said, know their worth, but in order to know your worth, you have to be woken up. You know what I'm saying? You're not. These women
but
and these men will continue to get in these repetitive situations where they're abused after relationship and after relationship. And I've seen it. Like my mother was married the first time
yeah,
14 years. My father was an abuser. She was married the
yeah,
next time 20 years, and he was an abuser. So until you wake up, and it takes a lot to wake up. And on a different topic, I had shared with the host of the show that I was in a situation I didn't even know I was in it until I got out of it. And I realized, like, whoa, like, where was my mind? I'm
Right.
educated, I'm spiritual, I'm witty, but at the end of the day, I wasn't woke to what was taking place with me
Right,
in the
but
situation.
and I hate to cut you off, Queen, but that goes back
No,
to
go
you
ahead.
having so much empathy, not for him, but for the situation of what you just said. You recounted what your family went through. Same thing with most of us. You know, I watched my
Yes.
mom go through the same thing. And my thing was, as most men, when we see females do that, we think that's player. We see our uncle over there, he got many a female, that's player. But when we get older, we realize, damn, he was playing on my aunt, or damn, he was playing on my mama. Not
Yeah.
understanding the fact that
Yeah.
we were programmed to think that's manly. But at the end of the day, we were really being, and I can be honest and I'm straightforward, we were being operated under people that was manipulative, which again,
Absolutely.
right. They thrived off empathy. It's a lot of people, again, remember now, opposites always attract, night and day, up and down. So somebody with empathy will attract somebody more wanting sympathy. And that's the thing. It's very rare. I was just telling somebody, it's very rare that you have to look for it and know what you want. Once you know that, okay, I'm an empathetic person, I do for people, whatever. I want somebody like-minded. Instead of being caught in to what we think or what is accessible. And a lot of times what's accessible ain't really for us all the time.
I got another video I want to play, and I
Brother on
didn't never.
fire.
I think
Lie.
I go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm saying brother on fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, that's my boy
I,
Cross, man. Check out
I,
Cross Up.
yeah. I can check me. I'm on a whole bunch of plans, but I got to salute my man Monkey, man. I'm so proud of him because I broke it down. I told him, I said, man, you got it, bro. And, from me, CW, Dewberry, all of us, he got it, bro. And I told him tonight, I said, man, it'd be a blessing to come on here because I watch y'all, but because he knows I'm on a lot of different platforms, I kind of watch from afar. But I'm more of a fan of him and what y'all be speaking on because I told him stay on this path because this path you on, no matter what nobody say, if like the preachers say, the old preachers used to say, no matter if ain't nobody in the church, man, preach to the clock. So I don't care if it's one or two people, but I think he got a message. And the people that's on this panel, y'all are positive, and that's what I look for. You know what I'm saying? No matter what.
He the one made this shirt right here. He makes shirts, Cross Your Heart
Yeah,
merchandise. He got this. He do shirts,
Yeah, I
caps.
got my own brand. A lot of people wear them. A lot of celebrities wear it. It's called crossyourheart.com. And again, I did that based off the fact you see the heart. If you go to my website, the heart with the Band-Aid on it, because a lot of times, like even what the sister said and the king and all y'all say is that a lot of times the old saying is cross your heart, hope to die. But how many times we got our heart broken? So that's the simple. And my saying and what I got patent was everybody's not built for the streets. That's why we made sidewalks.
And then
That's
too, I want to
good.
give a shout out to my girl T. I'm gonna put it on the she's in the panel. How you say your name,
Salute,
T?
Tamarella.
Tamarella.
salute
TK. These
Tamarella.
hoes hidden too. Hey, and I'm gonna be giving doing a TK giveaway. So I'm gonna
Okay.
figure it out. But we're gonna be doing a TK giveaway. I'm gonna be interviewing her, and we're gonna sit down and figure out how we're gonna do the TK giveaway when I interview her. And
So
these hoes hidden
just
too.
let me know and just tag me. I'll put it in my storyline and then on my TikTok and stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? To get my followers and stuff to come over here. Yeah. I got you. Already know I got you, my nigga.
yeah. Appreciate you, man. And
You know I got
yeah, but I'm finna play this one right here, and I didn't know, but I think I've been abused myself. I don't know yet, you know what I'm saying? But I think I have been, cause sometimes women and I don't and I'm trying to say this the right way. Sometimes, cause I was with a woman that was in an abusive relationship,
you.
and
Mhm.
it's like she did shit to try to provoke me to hit her. And I used to tell her, I
Yeah.
see why your husband used to beat you.
So
Now, you know what I'm saying?
more or
So
less, I was just telling some more or less she was into the makeup sex part.
I guess so, you know, and I ain't the type of nigga, cause my mama, I got an ass whooping. I was at Wesley Elementary.
Yeah.
I hit a girl, her name was Crystal Lofton. I never forget. I hit this girl. My mama tore my ass up and I never hit a girl again. That was in the second or third grade. You know what I'm
Jermaine,
saying? Uh-huh.
before you show the video though, I wanna just kind of give clarity to what that is.
Mm-hmm.
She's a product, she was a product of her environment. And so that's the behavior that she saw. And so it could have been she was trying to manipulate you to hit her so she would feel loved. That is
Right.
another perspective,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
Men and women do it because they
Yes.
don't know that is negative. So if you're not doing it, now they gotta
Then you
try to
don't
bring
love
it
them.
out of you because they feel like you do not love them.
Absolutely.
No, that's a fact. That's why I just skipped to it and said makeup sex, because a lot of times when it doesn't go normal, a lot of us men and women been in situations when everything is normal. Matter of fact, y'all probably been in a situation when you go to somebody else's house, there's normalcy. You think, man, y'all weird as hell, not knowing that your house is dysfunctional.
That's why I say, what is normal?
Yes.
They say
I mean, what is normal? Because I think normal is customized to every person. Normal, you know, even though that seems not normal to us. Like, okay, like in Mexico, Hispanics put their toilet paper in the trash can. We put ours in the toilet. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, it smell like booty in here. You feel what I'm saying? So, cause I'm not used to that. You see what I'm saying? It's like, so
But we can't agree that physical violence is universal, though.
yeah.
We
But
can't.
some countries is culture.
Right, but then there's some cultures that it's all across the plane as far as men are not going to do certain things by law and women are subject to certain things by law. But here, you have a choice. That's what I'm saying. The sad part is you do have a choice. Nobody's forcing you to do that. The sad part is like when you say I heard somebody say the sexy red, and when you got people like Sexy Red that are over sexual hyper in the situation to black women that's on this panel that's very educated. Black women are not sexually overactivated. They're not animals. We're not animals. And that's the thing that they're perpetuating. That's the only thing, like, you know, me on my channel, I don't like that. I think that's sad. The fact that, and again, nobody's saying it. You telling me you got a female walking around screaming ski, and there's young kids, because I mentor hundreds of kids. You know, I go to the schools for free. I do it every day. And I mentor 3-4 schools every day. By the time I come home, I'm tired. But those kids don't get that opportunity to see somebody like me, somebody who's changed their life, somebody who has a business, who tells them about LLCs and tells them that, hey, just because you draw and everybody in your family don't draw, it's okay. I'll show you how to do that. They don't get that.
brother, last night I literally spoke to where we went wrong as a culture, and for us men, we lost leadership and perspective.
That's a fact. That's a
People like you, like everything you just listed. You know what I'm saying? You just say you went through trials, tribulations. You got your life together. You teaching about LLCs, how to teach people how to be prospero in life.
fact.
People like you get pushed to the back.
Facts every time.
The thugs, the killers, the finessers,
Yeah.
the jackers,
Yeah.
the players get pushed to the front.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, you know, everybody, you know, if you're a street, you're a street dude. If you're reputable, you're reputable. The thing about it is, once I realized it was a lie, and I tell everybody this, most young men, once you talk to them, especially in the street, they hustle for their first name. And I'm gonna say this again. They hustle for their first name. When you become a man, you learn to hustle for your last name. It's a different hustle. Because when you're in the streets, you want everybody to know you for your nickname and your first name. But when you become a man, you want to walk in the bank and somebody call you. Your first name is Mr. and your last name is whatever. So now I show them how to hustle for their last name instead of their first name.
Hey, and it's crazy. He just said, "Look, I don't. Hey, look, hey, peep this out, panel.
Yeah.
I not know this man from a can of paint. Couldn't pick him out in the lineup. He
Yeah.
literally just said exactly what I said last night about the whole last name. Like,
Yeah.
and we get caught. Our last name is everything.
Everything. It means everything. It means who you are. It means who raised you. It means everything. Because again, right. Because you're known for your last name. You're never known for your first name. Your first name is only for who you want to know it. But your last name is reputable in any place. You know,
ain't
when you
nobody
come
gonna
in,
say, Monkey Man, you been approved for this long. Ain't nobody gonna say that shit.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yo, hey, man, I wish I would have met you just a day earlier. I promise you, you would have been a perfect guest. Jesus.
Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, and I need your thing too, man. We're gonna shout out, man, to my boy Mike and Pratt on Wednesdays at 8:00. The Domino Effect. Domino Effect podcast. I might well do my little shout out to everybody.
Yeah,
Then my girl Ashley. I keep Marilyn Ashley. Do the credit. She does credit and everything. You need to child support taken care of, late payments, school loans, whatever she know how to do it. Okay. I got my girl CJ with the hats and shirts. She do hats and shirts, and she the one that did my logo too for my right there. Bam, the TMB
like
with Monkey Man. She
like
did that for me. Well, I got some shirts coming and stuff like that and hats. We in the process of doing it. And then too, she also got a bus service. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I watched that live. She broke that down about the bus service. Yeah, that was game.
Yeah. And then too, shout out to my boy Raymond Shaw with the carpet cleaning. You need your water extractor, steam cleaning, shampoo, and upholstery, tile, grout, carpet. He done did people like Kendrick Perkins' house. He done famous celebrities' houses and neighborhood people houses, man. He got a free estimate. And I think he got a deal going right now. And with that, I'm finna play this other video. Let me play this video right quick. Right here.
You almost look too good. I don't want all those girls staring at you all night when I'm not there to fight them off. Save it for me.
Yeah, that'd be true if we didn't both say it at the same time.
Don't be stupid. I knew it wasn't chicken. Okay, get me a drink. How many drinks do you need?
You know, I thought I'd buy some for the boys as well.
No, that's not fair. I don't give you cash so you can spend it on other people. Who the is this?
Is that my phone?
Who the is this?
No one, she's just an old friend from school.
Tell me the truth.
I am.
Don't speak to her again.
Let me in! Open the door! Let's talk about this! Let me in!
Yeah, that's crazy.
I did not know men go through domestic violence too.
You didn't know that?
They go through it just as much as women.
And when I was in when I was in middle school, but I just thought my girlfriend was rough though. I had a girlfriend, she was kind of rough. But that what she liked to do, like
if you had to hide shit, she was more than rough, my nigga. Like that sound like some hide being scared.
Hold on, we got another guest coming in. Hold on, let me see who this is.
I told John.
Oh, my boy John, what's the mother?
Yeah,
man, what's the deal, man? What's up, John?
I told John to come bless the
Monkey Man Planet. What's good, my brothers and sisters?
Man,
how you doing?
We here.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the Let's Talk About It podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. You know what I'm saying? But tonight we talking about domestic violence. What's your intake on? I already know how you feel on domestic violence because I know what type of circle you run with. You know what I'm saying? But what's your
Facts, my brother.
what's your intake on that, Ja? On domestic violence?
Domestic violence has been a very wicked and weak behavior traditionally in our community, in the black community especially, since we've been here in America. It's not a customary activity or behavior of our people,
Right.
but it's a very demented and problematic. I will call it a disease in our community that should be handled by the men of our community and not allow the males of our community to continue to disrespect, abuse, and mistreat our women in our community. So I'm totally against it.
But
And you know, I bully the bully. If I find a man that's doing that, of course I'm at the defense of the woman. And when it's in reverse, I'm at the defense of the brother that allows himself to be placed as a victim into that circumstance.
so question, my brother, how do we eradicate it on the reverse side?
I believe, I
Get this
believe,
domestic violence.
right. I believe cultural intervention is something that we must do as a community, and unity kills dysfunction. So when we have people that will stand against it together, just as if in the household, if you have a man that's abusing a woman in the household and the household stands against that man, he has to cease and desist or remove himself from that household. If a
Agreed.
woman, if a woman is instituting that behavior, we know that first starts from a mental and an emotional aspect. So she's dealing with it first violently, and then she is often the victim of that type of influence that's been given to her by a man. As I spoken to the brothers and sisters yesterday, a quote that I'm often found repeating. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that there's no such thing as a no good woman, because if you find a no good woman, she's only been made no good by a no good man. So the
Fact.
first thing we must first do is change or confront the behavior of these males, what are not actually men, and deal with them as men to decease all of this wickedness. Because to hurt a woman and to harm a woman is wicked, and for a woman to adopt that philosophy and then integrate that in her own life is wicked. We must
Agreed.
stand as a community.
Agreed, my brother. Now let me ask you this. Now, 80% of black children are born in single parent households. We are aware of this, right?
Fact.
Yes.
73. I heard it 73
I said
percent.
80
Single
percent.
Yeah,
family.
we'll just say 80%.
You
Yeah.
said what?
I said 73. I said, well, I know the status was 73% of them are born in single families, which are women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But and I'm only bringing that up because it's relative to what you just said, right? You
Yep.
said the men that do these emotional responses, they need to be dealt with men.
Yeah.
And that 73%, which is the majority of us, like that, okay, they've never had that male influence. They've been influenced by what they've seen. Because
Right.
children
Right.
follows what? Children follow the most consistent example. So
Right.
if you're a single, if your child is born to a single mother household, that means
Mhm.
it's more imperative on you to have that leader of a man to help guide these children in the right way, right?
Right.
Facts.
Right.
So that first interaction with that real man, like you say, that should happen. And I agree, that should happen. That's not the point of contention. So that first interaction with that real man, how do you think that's gonna go over? That's gonna be an emotional response there, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what
that's
they
incumbent.
up until that point.
Right. It's incumbent upon the mother to have the wherewithal within her to expose her child, whether it's male, to one, the influence, and two, the environment. If
Right.
she's a single mother, that means she doesn't have a man present. That means there was a mistake or a dysfunction first made, either on her behalf or the man that was once a part of her life. Once
And
he's extracted, there has to be a substitute,
got you.
someone of prominent influence,
And,
and it could be from your religious order, It could be from your employment environment. It could be from, your economic environment, which is like a barber shop, because you can find men of influence in those places. You can
Gotcha.
find men of influence in a lot of
And
places. The mother just had to be willing to expose her child to that
gotcha,
influence.
gotcha, gotcha. Now, and for the record, I gotta say this because if I say it one way, I gotta put the whole thing together. I often tell men on my channel, I say, do not create families that you do not intend to stick around for, because what you do is you
Amen.
perpetuate the exact same statistic that we're sitting here talking about that leads putting the children into compromising positions. Because what we're not understanding is the things that we're trying to control, the things we're trying to fix, the things we're trying to patch together, the domestic violence, the lack of families, etc., etc. The people
Right.
that are getting affected is our children.
Right.
The
Well,
children getting affected.
and a lot of times
Just
too.
said, my
Oh,
brother
go ahead.
just
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
children at school doing the sexier ass ski. Like, what is this?
Right. But you know what? You said something deep, and a lot of times it's the fact that, okay, let's say mama's boy. I'm gonna give you an example. Mama's boy. If you're a mama's boy, what happens is if you think your mama a different person. What happens is, and everybody can say it, if you saw your mama in compromising position growing up, what happens is because your mama, a lot of women, not saying all, some of them will put the daddy down. You never know who the daddy is. You build up this Superman image, and you see your mama in compromising positions. A lot of the young men end up despising. Even the Bible said the things that you hate and despise, you become. So a lot of times you see them doing negative stuff. So then you see these young boys as they get older. Like when we grew up, we was mama's boys, like the Tupacs, putting money in your mama's mailbox because you felt good to get that thing. Versus now they despise their mama. They don't look at their mama like we did. Like, man, mama had to work, do this, and take care of us. It's the things that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You're a roll, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of times that's where we're at in the era. When you start seeing kids on the internet, and like I saw this one dude in Chicago, little young dude. He said, "Mama, take that rag off. We don't wear that rag shit, boy. I got this on to clean the house." He grabbed his mama, picked her up, and slammed her.
Damn.
That man would have dead.
Right. But see, here's again. The accountability again it falls back on us, because in our era we learned from the OGs and we was taught to be silent. A lot of us in our era went to jail, so a lot of these kids end up just learning off the whim, and now they're learning from the internet. And a lot of it, like having a podcast, we know that the internet ain't real. We know that. So you get a lot of these dudes that never had a platform talk about how gangster they are, and they believe that. But us, like you said, us street guys, or us that have made mistakes, we come and say, "Hey, man, if you do this, like in the rap songs, or like, and I'm just being funny, like G.I. Joe, they all had this whole shit going on, but at the end, what did he say? Knowing is half the battle. It always was an ending to fix the chaos. There's no ending right now. They keep perpetuating it for it to be recycled. And I think a lot of us, that falls again on us as men, because we are supposed to be the head if we're leading it. And now you can bring somebody come in and say, "Hey, I give you a couple of dollars per month and give you this cheap apartment. Just don't have this black man in your house. You got many kids you want in this house. Just don't have him there."
So let me ask y'all. This. Oh, go ahead.
I think a key factor as the foundation of what we're discussing is identifying. See, we are living in a culture of identity crisis. So we don't know the difference between the two. There's a man and then there's a male. Like I teach the children. A male cow is called a bull.
That's right.
A male dog is a dog. A female cow is called a heifer. A female dog is called a bitch. You've never seen a male dog taking care of the puppies that a female dog has. It's incumbent upon us to realize that there's an identity crisis in our community. And the first thing we must be able to identify as women and as men, as male, as female, the difference between a man and a male. The first criterion of a man is to be responsible. The first criterion of being a woman is to be accountable. The woman is the face of accountability. The man is the face of responsibility. When a man isn't being responsible, the woman holds him accountable. When the woman isn't being accountable, it's responsible upon the man to make sure she is confronted with accountability. So we are living in an environment where we have been changed by that unseen element which we haven't discussed, which is the source of where we receive this behavior of domestic violence from. And we receive that from a conditioning because we weren't always like this. Men, the definition of a man is a carbon-based organism belonging to the human family that functions with civilized intelligence based on logic and reason. So when you're dealing with logic and reason as your activity of function, you already know that you can figure out who's a man and who's a male. And males don't mess with men. See, they already know from the beginning when they encounter a man, they change their whole behavior because they know they can't get away with it. Because the responsibility of a man is to hold your
Usually we call them F, but we call them F boys. I'm gonna be clean on my man, Monkey Man. We call them F boys.
Now, for sure. Did you hear the two operative words he used? Logic.
Yep.
And reason.
So if a male, so let me help me out with something. So if a male commits domestic violence, he's not acting off logic nor reason. He substituted logic and reason with emotion, correct?
Correct. Without a doubt.
Exactly. Now let me show you the counter to that.
Right, because men are logical. Women are. That's why when I said that at first, I said 73% of the young males are raised by women. So when they are having a cognitive decision, there's no logic to it. It's an emotion. Hence why you could tell a young man to get online, drop his location, and because as a male, testosterone and emotion is mixed, which don't go together, he'll go over there and shoot him and then realize logic set in when the judge tell his ass he got 20 years or 50 years.
And by then it's too late.
That is true, because I remember when I used to be sitting in the jail, everything my mama done told me, and then I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have done. Reason said
but the reason why like you said, even with your mama, and you use that analogy, and I'm glad you said that, and I got family members like that. The reason why you say that is because you were able to play off your mother's emotion, off your logic, which caught your ass in jail, and now you have to go off emotion.
That's why when we use the word mother, we must first start with the responsibility of a man. A woman, a female gets to choose. She could be a female for her whole life, or she can develop and mature into being a woman. The opposite of the man is a woman, a carbon-based organic creature belonging to the human family that functions with civilized intelligence that's based on emotion and instinct. So it's incumbent upon a man, father, to educate and be present, to be an example to his daughter so that she develops the criterion that it takes for her to identify a man and to not be subjugated as a victim to a male. Therefore, the man is the one who cultures, protects, provides for her emotional stability. I think this as the nurturer to the first sign of life, which is the child. So
Yes, you're right.
it's a duality. You can't have, I told a sister before that a single mother is technically an oxymoron because she didn't get the child by herself. That other entity is supposed to be the foundation. A man is a provider, a protector, and a professor. Each one of those are critical elements of development of life. Life starts in the mind of a man, physically. From that, he conjoins with a woman, and they produce a new life. So like the sister said, where are these men? Well, the man is always there because I'm a father to many children that I haven't biologically produced because I'm a man. However, males run around freely without consequence, and we have to stop that in our communities by being men.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother.
Amen.
Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta
Amen.
hold on, I gotta give you just a tad little pushback on that. Without consequence? Oh no, there is a consequence. It's called child support.
But sis, that's a consequence given to an outside authority and entity.
Facts.
The communal consequence is that other men hold him responsible and accountable for his crime, which is laying the seed and leaving uncultivated.
Which goes deeper than that, which is morality, just building off as a man. And like you said, legally, yes, without a doubt. But morale is something that I think a lot of us men lack.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I totally concede. That is fair.
Yep.
So,
morality is a code. Morals is a code.
Let me ask you this, brother.
And I'm gonna add to this. I'm gonna let you go, King. Just imagine this. Why you think most pimps go after? Why you think most the girls that work for them call them daddy? They looking for a man that lack thereof. That's why most pimps and street niggas go after you. Come on now, most street niggas that get money and stuff, they ain't going after. They are intimidated by the ones that come with family. A lot of them they go with them. The ones that do that, they find. You watch the movies, Sugar Hill. When he found a girl that had came from a good home, what'd he do? Throw the drugs away and became a man.
Well, when you look at that connotation, daddy, to another man, remember, daddy is not a father. Daddy is a term of endearment given from a child to a man, but it's not a father. Father is the one who furthers. That's why that word father is synonymous with the word further, because a father advances. So it's important that we understand or be able to identify the criterion of what makes a man, and every man is a father. A male can produce a child, but he has to do the work in order to be honored as a father. It's a difference.
So, brother, let me ask you a question. So, should we bring shame back to our community?
Yes.
Yeah. Shame is synonymous with self-respect, and that's what we have lost.
Facts.
Now, also, but I want the people at home to understand what comes with shame. Shame means brutal honesty comes. That means there's gonna be a lot of feelings going around.
But see, again, feelings comes back with emotion. Has nothing to do with logic. Logic is the truth. What you're gonna do is give facts. Like the preacher, you say, "Don't get mad at me. Preach at the word." The truth is the truth. The truth hurts. It's supposed to hurt. If it didn't hurt, then it ain't the truth.
And the truth is subjective, correct?
No, not if we know that. No, because again, the truth, I always tell people there's a truth and there's a lie. But if you walk in truth, you know what truth is. Right. Truth is what it is.
All right. And so that makes the truth objective, correct?
No, because if I sit there and I say, hey, man, I know what you're trying to say. You're saying because of what other people's taught us. But in morally values, if I say, hey, man, you too old to piss in the bed, is that the truth or not the truth?
Well, it depends on what age.
No, I'm saying no, nigga, you ain't supposed to be peeing in the bed this old nigga unless something wrong with you. You gonna say, well, I have
unless they got a condition, and then you need to hold yourself accountable and go get that condition checked out.
Let's say if they don't. Let's say if they don't.
You're saying this, as in my current age. Okay, yeah, of course.
There
Yeah.
you go. So at our age right now, we're only, again, that's why I get with old folks when they say they have zero tolerance. Again, at our age, that's why you have your platform. You just said, man, I just said that the other day. Now you're probably thinking yourself, because I've been doing this a long time on the internet. You're like, damn, but people don't listen to me when I tell the truth. It's okay. It's okay because you're telling the truth. You're not telling your truth. You're telling the truth. I can tell my truth. That don't mean if it's true. That's where. But if you tell me the straight truth, I can't do nothing but just the messed up part. We were talking about this earlier. I was telling Monkey Man, and I was telling I was on the phone with Gene Deal, the one that was with Biggie, right? So I was on there, and my guy Jamil, he's a comedian, and the messed up part about the internet, Gene Deal has talked about this whole Biggie thing, Tupac shit, and all that. Now all this shit is coming out. The problem is he stayed with the truth. The truth will never change. You can alter anything in life, but the truth stays the same. So just like with you at your platform, you're speaking truth. When you drop that, I know I can hear it in your spirit. When you drop that, you didn't go back to check to see if you said anything wrong, my nigga. Come on, my nigga.
I wanna
You're a truthful man.
I wanna just add the about the truth. And it kind of goes back to, and it's everybody's responsibility, men and women. And in the video, one of the points that it made is, if this is happening, you need to speak up, as you know, so you get that's the accountability. And a lot of us grew up in these households of what go on in my house, stay in my house. So that mentality was taught
Right.
back then, and nobody ever changed that perspective. We all just we're still products of our environment. And so the mentality is, I'm going to make excuses and cover up for this until I get tired, or until that person just says enough is enough. But you have to change that narrative. You have to understand this is wrong. And and that's something that we speak on all the time, in my nonprofit, when it comes to men and women and changing that factor and breaking these generational curses. You have to unlearn learned behavior.
That's
And
right.
whether it's a married couple in a household raising children, or a single parent, a single mother, a single father, wrong is wrong. And so if you have that kind of environment, you want to break that cycle, it starts with the individual that is either 9 times out of 10 it has to start with the individual that's the victim. And you have to be realistic with yourself and say, why am I choosing to be in this situation? And if you can't answer that question, then you probably need to go and get the help that you need to get, because you're thinking that this behavior is normal and it's okay.
Well, and like you said something a lot of people don't know. The number one factor is what? Stress. The number two thing is change. That's the thing that creates division in the household. Whether if somebody get a job and say, hey, I got to move over here to another state. Change is always uncomfortable for everybody. You said something. You said product of our environment. You know what the weird thing about our environment and our culture? Because we don't like it. And once you figure it out, like yourself, we move. So once we move, we're no longer a product of our environment. We have moved to a whole nother area, another subdivision. So we don't have to carry that burden. That's where we got to stop carrying that burden, because we use that. A lot of people, I used to say it all the time, man, what product of my environment? Well, man, I'm living in, this much plus house. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't be a product of my environment, because over there, I ain't going over there, because I know where I used to live at, they'll rob me right there. So then therefore, I'm no longer a product, I'm an exception. So I need to give the game, or figure out, how the hell did I get from there? Because we don't look at our track line of how we got from where we were at to where we're here.
Let me ask
Cross, that's why I said we should address the foundation. That's one thing that's missing. This culture that we have, remember this, unity is the key to our success. So if you have a man in the family, in my household experience, when you have a man or a woman in the family, I watched one of my aunts kill a man in a situation because of domestic violence. So when you have a man or a woman in the family, bro, that's abusive or partaking in that behavior, the family must address that person. And family is as family does. You're either going to be a member of this unit, which is unity, or you're going to be excoriated and expounded. You're going to be put the hell away from us, either by force or your own submission. So we have to start being, one, as men, responsible, and two, as women, accountable. And if I have a sister, a niece, a aunt, or a cousin in my family unit, they already know the rules. See, I'm going to hold you responsible. I'm going to hold you accountable, woman, in my family unit for allowing that man to beat on you and not tell me. I'm responsible to do something about it when that man abuses her. Now, if you're a coward, then you're just a male. But if you're a man, that man already know there's a consequence to physically pay by the other men in the family if you violate her. And I told my niece's husband this just 2 years ago when he married my niece. I said, look, she's the only niece that I got that looks like my mother.
Come on now.
I said, treat her with the respect and love and protection that I would do unto my mother. If not, you already know what it do. I ain't got to say nothing else because a male and a man knows what that is. And I said that in front of his family, the other men in his family, his uncles and father and them of the sort, recognized, respected, and submitted. They were silent to what I said because they know it's the truth. Now he's been warned. He's been foretold of the consequence. So don't act funny and don't act surprised and don't act astonished, man, when this fire and brimstone coming to get you. Because I'm out the boogaloo or barbecue when it comes to you putting your hands or when you abusing, because it don't have to just be physical, bro. Because the first element of abuse starts mental before it even graduates to the physical position. Yep. So we must be able to identify these wrongs in our community, bro, and handle it as a community. And the word community is a conjunction, man. It means common unity. So we should be functioning up under that law.
So let me ask you this, though, John, or anybody can answer this. So what do you do if you do address it and she still go back to him? It just ain't that you found out he been doing it. Huh?
Well, he didn't say that directly, but you can loosely infer, like,
yeah. If she want to go back to him, she gets a choice. Yeah, you either be a part of this unit, or you just stand by yourself. See, I can't save you from yourself. You don't want help if you want to deal with that. If you want to keep dealing with that, that's not help. See, you are a product of hurt, and when you don't come from that, see, my niece don't come from that. You understand what I'm saying? So we must first be proactive with our children by correcting the faults within us. I'll say this, in the Black community for the last 100 years, whenever something go bad in the Black community, they call the who?
Police.
Come on, man. Yep. And what do we call the police in the Black community? Historically, the man. See, so what happened to me? What am I? And I'm in the Black community. You mean to tell me you got to call the man to come handle our situation when the man is supposed to already be present? See, that's a dysfunction with us. And we must address those principles first before we begin to execute and exercise any consequence upon others. See, it's one thing to be reactive, but it's best, according to logic, to be proactive. When you're proactive, you already laid a law in the code. And I don't give a damn about them other guys that come in our community as a pseudo authority over us. I give a damn about the natural authority and which God gave me, and being the man that I am, and I'm being held responsible by that account.
Man, every time you speak, John, I feel like I'm in a Black Panther meeting or something. Man, I feel like just going outside and getting on the nigga ass. Look here, man, we got it back.
I told John, look, I hit Job. I said, John, listen, Monkey Man on live right now. I told him I'm gonna come up there, man. I love the channel he got. I said I need you to come bless his channel, dog. You know you be with Farrakhan and all them niggas. So come on up here and bless this nigga channel, man. Nah, you already know. Like I said, Monkey Man, you know we wouldn't have done this for nobody else, man. But we
Right.
loving the energy. Your panel is the bomb, dog. The way you
Appreciate
set
Thank
your
y'all. Thank y'all.
I'm gonna tell you the way you set your community up, the way my man right there got his screen off, but you got the picture up with him and his wife, and the one live I saw where they got real with it.
Yeah.
Hey, for real, dog. You already know. I told you a long time ago. So you know what I'm saying?
Cross, what I told you, Cross. I say, hey man, you my internet manager, so you know if it's a good atmosphere, I'm always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I told him I hit him up. I said, I know you busy doing some other stuff. Please come on Monkey Man channel. This my dog. I know you busy. He said, man, you my bro. I gotta come. So I
Yeah.
Say
appreciate
less.
it.
And you
Yeah,
know,
you
like I
know,
told you,
every time John on your I gotta be on there, man, because he gonna get that daily bread. Cause see, he could take this tea cake and break it down to the to where you gotta fight for the tea cake, man. Look at man, we gotta fight for the tea cake, man. God damn, don't take
I would
away the
like
tea
to
cake.
add. I would like to add to what the brother said because that's absolutely right. Someone should step in and say something, the men in the family. And for me, as I spoke with Monkey Man, in my situation, no one said anything until I got out. And then everyone was like, oh, yeah, I couldn't wait till you woke up. I couldn't wait till you stopped
Right.
being taken advantage of. I couldn't wait. And I'm like, so y'all just really watched me go through 21 years?
Yep.
Of this type of abuse, and it wasn't physical abuse, it was another form of abuse.
That's
But it
right.
was like, are you serious? I'm talking about moms, sisters, uncles, and I'm like, so y'all really sit to the side. I'm the type, I'm not gonna sit to the side. I will pull you to the side, I'll say something, to the sister or the brother, but just to watch someone go through, abuse is crazy to me.
Well,
It's crazy.
and I think, like you said, I'm the same way too. And then even in my family, you sit back, a lot of it is more secret. We're the last ones to find out because they know we're the first ones to say something. The sad part is that's what we got to stop as in our culture, and that's sad because we empathize with everybody else, but we never accountable for what we're doing at the house. But we'll empathize with anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey,
accountability is a factor in the law. Responsibility is a factor in the law of any household, family, or community, bro. And
right.
families is the essence. Remember your grandfather, bro. Even when my father got killed when I was 5 years old.
Right.
So I had a grandfather and a great uncle. Now, my grandfather and great uncle, these were hardworking. My grandfather was a prominent minister in America. My great uncle was he was an engineer for Conrail Railroad. So these were prominent men that worked out in the field that we call the world. However, their laws was astute. You knew damn well if you violate any one of their daughters, they was coming for you. And there was no explanation. There was nothing to be said. You already knew when you did something wrong, you better either run or prepare to deal with the consequence. And one thing about it, our daughters, our women, must also realize that you cannot be with a man that's going to place our freedom and justice in danger because we're going to do what's just.
I want to add to that too, because see, pillow talk is something real. And us as women have to hold ourselves accountable because if you telling, like, say for instance, the family is upside down or whatever the case is, and you get mad at this one, you mad at this one, and then you go have pillow talk with that man, and you're telling him like, I don't fool with my uncle, or my dad does it, but he already knows what the limits that he can go to because you gonna have his back versus calling the family when he does something to you. Right. And I'm saying that like I've seen that in the flesh. It's like, oh man, ain't nobody worried about them niggas in your family. They ain't gonna do nothing. Well, they not gonna do nothing because you didn't talk down on them and you didn't put this man up here on this pedestal and keep covering for him and giving him permission to do what he's doing.
Facts. Yeah,
Like,
just being petty. Like most niggas like that are petty anyway. If they bring us some, yeah, that's why your people, man, that's some petty shit anyway. That's some feedback. Again, that's no logic. And you like, I told that to you not to tell nobody. Now you want to get mad at me and bring it up. It's petty.
man,
That's what what he
let
trying
me
to
tell
do
you
is
something,
trying to
bro.
hurt your feelings because his feelings
Real
already
men don't
hurt.
care. Real men don't care. You heard? Like real talk. Real men don't care. I had an incident, bro, with my sister that just passed. I seen her and she had a black eye, right?
Right.
Now I didn't even know what happened. You feel me, bro? I went and put her boyfriend in the hospital. Now I found out later from witnesses that my sister went up top on him, hit him with a 3-piece. That didn't matter. That didn't matter at the moment. But once I found that out, I then went and chastised my sister and let her know the element of reality is real and you can't be in our family doing that. See? Because my nieces got the same aggressive characteristic in their personality. Right. So I had to deal with them in their adulthood because they already know. Damn it, don't call me when you wrong. What's wrong with you? You done went and robbed the bank, now you want to come run to my house? We ain't doing that. See, there's a consequence to that. So don't put me in what I've invested and kept as a discipline safe. Don't put that in harm. You make a choice as a woman. Like you got to make a choice as a man. You keep your hands to yourself, brother, when it comes to your anger. Because the only reason you should be touching a woman is out of love and romance. You shouldn't be touching a woman out of anger and dysfunction. And this is where this shit lead to, bro. First, we got to deal with the mentalities of our people. And when you identify a man, a woman is a whole different type of creature around a man, bro. She's a whole different type of creature. Because you know what I tell women in my relationships? Go get a man. I don't care who he is, your father, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, the nigga that you like at work. Go get him for me to argue with. See? Then I can deal and show you how a man is supposed to argue. But when I argue with you, it's unfair. I can't beat you verbally and you can't beat me physically. God made us like this so that we can be together, conjoined as an army against any oppressor, any offensive. So if we're not together, we ain't going to be together. You better go your way and I'm going to go mine. However, when we have a single woman or mother in our family, bro, it's up to us as brothers, cousins, and uncles, man, to interject and lay a law even in her house. And if she don't want to submit to that, you can't be family because family is as family does, bro. And if they ain't functioning as a family, they just related to you.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Let me play this one more. So somebody saying something?
No, this me. Hold on. Just for the people that watching it, because you know I stream this on my live also. Hey, if we don't fire up in here, man, drop that flame emoji because brother
No
is
bullshit. No bullshit.
Hey, if
bullshit.
man, drop the shit emoji. But we know what it is.
Amen.
We know what it is. The man is.
Amen.
But go ahead. I got a question for brother after your video. But go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, hold on. Let me play the last video right quick.
The man who I loved more than anybody on earth held a gun to my head and threatened to kill me more times than I can even remember.
Y'all hear that?
It's a little low.
Yeah, you can barely. I had to turn my sound up. I thought I was tripping.
Oh, okay. I thought I was.
Y'all don't hear it at all.
No, I don't hear it at all.
Yeah, let me see something. What we got going?
You gotta tap the video for the sound.
Oh, yeah. Y'all have to tap the video once he starts playing for the sound.
Oh, well, shit. Do I gotta tap the video?
The man who I loved more than anybody on earth held a gun to my head and threatened to kill me.
Yeah, I see it, but I can't hear it.
Times than I can even remember.
Yeah, I can see it, but I can't hear it.
Maybe she ain't talking about shit then. I don't know.
No. She is. Yeah, you can. the people with the first time on here, when the video starts playing, it literally says tap for sound. So you have to tap it.
The man who I loved more than anybody on earth held a gun to my head and threatened to kill me more times than I can even remember.
I can't hear nothing.
Man, hey, look, we're gonna have to read the subtitles.
Oh yeah, subtitles.
Hey, I mean, that's the only thing that we got shooting for it.
All right, let's read the subtitles then.
The man who I loved more than anybody on earth held a gun to my head and threatened to kill me more times than I can even remember.
Shake her hand, please.
I never once thought of myself as a battered wife. Instead, I was a very strong woman in love with a deeply troubled man. We tend to stereotype victims as grisly headlines, self-destructive women, damaged goods. The question, why does she stay, is code for some people for it's her
I'm looking
fault.
at it on my phone, so I don't actually see it.
Every one of you to understand the secrets of domestic violence.
If someone could read the caption, that'd be great.
Show abuse.
I'm gonna recap what she said when he finishes.
About it, we can make our beds.
Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
And our families,
No problem.
the safe and peaceful oases they should be.
All right. So basically, what her video is, she's saying that she was with a man for 20. Did she say 10 or 20 years, Mike?
10, yeah, 20 years.
Okay, and he was physically abusive like the whole time, and so the question was, what made her stay? And she's also saying like women are stereotyped for leaving. And so she's in love with this man, and she's thinking that he's a trouble man, and she's doing the right thing by staying in this situation and by his side, not knowing if he's going to get the help or not. That was the gist of that video. And me, myself, I would definitely love to speak on that and then pass it on to the panel, because y'all remember when we first started this podcast? And we were talking about relationships and women and men not making it or whatever. And that was one of the things before I told y'all my story and letting y'all know I was single. It was like, well, why are you single? Because I'm not putting up with stuff that I ain't got no business putting up with. And so then when we got further into it, and I broke that thing down. Yeah, I was with him for a year. We were married, it wasn't even 2 years. But when he brought that domestic violence up in there, hey, I'm out and take your ass out. I don't ever want to see you again. Now, I had to break that thing down because I did question myself. I did question how was I going to be looked at, because I decided to end a relationship, and here it is, a second marriage, and I'm a second divorcee. But at the end of the day, I did not care, because I know my worth and I have worked on myself, and I choose to be better. I choose to keep my kids in a healthy environment and then help the community to do the same. And so where I didn't miss, I missed some of the red flags because I was going on my instinct, but that would make me go back and just kind of fix more things within myself. But the gist of her message is a lot of women stay because society tells them that's how they are. That makes them a good woman, and vice versa.
Staying with a nigga that's beating your ass is a good woman?
I will say this. The only...
But now hold on. I was gonna say this right here. You know, some. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, BJ.
Oh, I was just gonna say that a lot of women stay because they didn't been in that situation for so long that they feel like the guy didn't probably make them feel like your family don't love you. You have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So a lot of women get stuck in that mind frame and won't pick up and leave either.
That's real talk.
I would like to add on to that as well. One factor that we are missing from even what the white sister was speaking on and what our sister just commented on, as well as what our brother added on to, is that word love. See, love is, we don't understand the definition of what love is. So we've been deceived into believing infatuation based on lust is love. And that's not love at all. And males that are manipulative understand that factor, so they can manipulate the process to a woman's thinking to believe that what he's giving her, either i.e. in the bed or out of his pocket, are acts of love. And those aren't acts of love. Those are just provisions and perversions that are satisfactory to the woman's intention, not her instinct. Remember, a woman is her function is civilized intelligence, not just intelligence, but civilized intelligence based on emotion and instinct. So her instinct is to want to be loved. Her instinct is to love because she is our signature of love. However, she must understand what love actually is. And none of those things are love. So it's a crux. Like you're put in a situation that you really don't understand, but you've been led to like it to the point to where it's loving or satisfying. And we shouldn't be dismissive of it, but we should be more proactive in teaching, especially our young women, what love really is. And the daddy don't give love. That's just a word of endearment given to a real father. However, a pimp, he chooses for her to call him daddy as an authority. But you notice she don't call him father because he's not her father. He's just a man under the guise of an authority of one that should or could love you. And any man that's beating on a woman is not a man at all, because you can't share that same activity with other men. Note that the shirt that I'm wearing right now is really called the A shirt. But in the hood, we call it a wife beater.
Yeah.
See, because we are used to that signature of that drunken white man that's sitting home with the big beer belly and gut, no job, waiting for her to come home so he can take out his frustration, anger of not being a real man on his wife.
That nigga
And
broke
we have
down
to change that as a culture.
He a bad motherfucker, man. This is what he broke down the t-shirt.
Yeah, that was
You know,
good.
I just thought, and I never thought about it, but when you said that, I just had a glimpse of a TV. I don't even know what movie this is, with the white man with the beer, waiting on his wife to come home, and he tripping with the muscle shirt on.
Like you
Married
said,
with
think about
children.
it.
That's American culture.
Right, because technically it's called an A shirt. That's what it's technically called. It's not called a
Technically
wife
called an
beater.
A shirt.
It's not called a wife beater.
However, in American culture, which I said earlier, the foundation of what we call domestic violence is called domestic violence, not just because it happens in your home, but because it's a culture in American society.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really here. You try going to certain countries, like where my parents come from in Jamaica, and think you're going to get away with that. See? Nah, you get scalped. See, I wake a man up with the machete on his head, kill him quick, because you're not going to be beating on her for no reason. You're not going to be beating her out of your frustration, bro. And every man knows what a male is, and he go confront that male and handle him. And it don't matter what she think. If he understands, my daughter is under the guise of a nigga loving her, and he doing something wrong to her, and I see it, it's nothing she could say to me. Say, you can talk to me later. However, if you deny me, then you're no longer part of my family. I have to be able to walk away from you. That's part of being a man. That's being responsible. I can't uphold her irresponsibility of allowing this man to abuse her, because she know what love is, and I gave it to her first. That's why I said family is everything. And that father is important, bro. He teaches his daughter the criterion of what a man is, so she can see it and say, you're not being a man. I got to get away from you. And the first thing I'm going to do is call a man.
Well, let me ask you this. So, and I had played a clip earlier about mental health. So what makes, and let me say this right. what makes the male, which is the abuser, bow down to the male? Because when a real man come around and confronts him about that, he ain't as, you know what I'm saying? He ain't talking all that rah-rah when the real man comes around. But what makes him, what's the mental capacity that makes him fold like that?
Well, that's why I told you a male is just one organic creature that's functioning on the nature of being able to produce the reproductive seed. That's all a male is. So you know, a male is a dog. He got sperm in him, and he can go have sex with a so-called bitch that's in heat, and they could produce puppies. But he's not responsible to nurture the puppies, protect the puppies, and raise the puppies. See? So that's what a male is. A male is like a bull on a farm. You know, it's one bull, and he have sex with all the cows and make other calves. However, he's not responsible to nurture the calves. You know, the calf is always with the heifer, the woman cow. See, he's not with the bull. So it's a difference when you're functioning on an animalistic level versus the level of humanistic. And when you're human, you're a human, you're functioning with civilized intelligence. And civilized intelligence is one that functions with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and refinement, and is not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. So when she's pursuing him based upon how he's sexually satisfied her, she's a savage. She's living the life of a beast without the knowledge of self. So she can't identify love. She can't identify manhood because she was never given that criterion as a child. And that's why we must raise our boys and girls with the knowledge of what a man is and of what a woman is, so they don't end up being these males and these females, these abuser and these whores.
Amen.
And it's a big difference.
So man, you know what? I'm finna start walking around calling women bitches because you a nurturer and you take care of your kids, and just like
we don't call them bitches. We call them females. We won't call them bitches.
No, but you just said a bitch take care of the puppies, take care of the kids. That's what a woman do. So we can call them bitches.
Well, hold on. As a man, remember I told you what makes a man is being responsible. So as a man being responsible, we can't call them bitches because it's our job to uplift them into womanhood. So we can't call them bitches. We call them females. We call them females. You feel me? And that way, a woman is offensive when you call her a female, because every woman is a female, but every female isn't a woman. So it's a big difference. You understand? And womanhood is a graduation of maturity. You were born a female, but you have to be developed, cultured, and to graduate into the maturity of a woman. And so it's our responsibility as men to be able to identify when a female is just a female, or when a woman is behaving as a female, but forgot or may have just lost her place. So if you call her a bitch, that will totally displace her from where she was or could be. And it's our responsibility as men. Remember, the criterion of as a man is to be responsible. So we can't call her a bitch. We must call her a female and then correct her so she becomes eventually a lady. And that's a sophisticated woman.
Absolutely.
I agree. So, Jermaine, you gonna get slapped. You run around here calling somebody bitch.
But you a nurturer. But you a nurturer. Monkey man, but nah,
Monkey man, I'm gonna share something with you, right? Let me show you how different it is when we talk about bitches, right? A dog that's in heat, she runs from the pack of dogs. Although she wants a man, she wants to mate with one of the dogs. She runs from the pack of dogs. Or if she's in a controlled, civilized environment, she waits for her owner to bring her a mate. When we look at the women in our society now, like Sexy Red and other sister, I forgot her name, that's behaving as bitches, we call them bitches, but they're not bitches, because even a bitch has shame. She will lower her tail to cover her ass from entry. because she knows that there's a place for that. And only one dog should enter her to give her the seed of life. So no, our black women, no woman, I'm not going to call a woman out of bitch. In anger, we make that mistake, but we should also be corrective in an apologetic manner to those that we do call a bitch, because we don't want to function with her on all fours. We want to uplift her so that she's responsible to the upliftment of the seed that we plant in her. If not, we will continue this cycle of ignorance and uncivilized nature that we've been functioning in based upon our condition that we were given when we got here.
That's good. That's real good, because we won't change. There you go. Get a hand clap.
Yeah, I had to steal that one from you, Cross. I had to steal that one from you. I had to steal that one from you, bro.
Monkey Man and Cross brought me here, man, for a reason. I'm glad I got on, my brother. Monkey Man, I respect you, my brother. I love your commentary when you on Cross Your Heart. You heard? So for you, like I told Cross, hey, no problem. That brother civilized. I'm definitely coming through to grace my brother's presence.
I want to bring you on Talking Monkey Business with Monkey Man, which is a separate show where I interview people, and let you tell your story one day. And I'm gonna have Cross to hook that up for me. But before we go, because I'm gonna spend the rest of the time with my common-law wife. Yeah, yeah. But
hey, the key word is wife.
Yeah, key word is wife.
Get his ass job. Get his ass job.
Yeah. I'm finna spend some time with my wife, but I'm gonna go through. Mike, you got anything to say before we go? You want to shut out your podcast or where they can find you on Instagram or whatever?
Now I don't have no Instagram, but I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at the Domino Effect Conversations with Mike and Pratt. We live, man. We logged in for sure.
What about you, CJ?
No, just as usual. Thank you for having me on, and nice meeting the new guys on today. It was very, very refreshing to get another male perspective. And we just gonna keep doing what we doing. We're for our community. We're for bridging the gap. We're for breaking generational curses. And so I love it. And y'all can find me on Jermaine's page somewhere. I'll keep moving out there.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though, Cross and Jai, y'all need to go on the Domino Effect, because them boys, they'll be deep too. They be deep too, boy.
No, definitely I'm gonna subscribe to him, man. He subscribed to me as well, man. Yeah.
Uncle Tam, you want to say anything? Is she still on
I
here?
can't believe you're using me and Reed's personal name, but yes, I want to say thank you guys for having me on, and I love the conversation. It was very it was eye opening, and I love all the different analogies that I heard tonight. So I'm going to be using that T-shirt one definitely. That wife beater. I'm going to use that in the conversation. Yeah,
there you
thank
go.
you guys.
Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
problem.
it.
No problem.
Michelle and BJ. Oh, shut out your T cakes right quick, Tam.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm T of T's Tea Cakes here in Houston, Texas. So I do have an Instagram and a TikTok, and it's T apostrophe S Tea Cakes, TEACAKES.
Okay.
Thank you.
Michelle, and I'm gonna be interviewing her probably next week. Michelle and B, what's up, baby? Give us something we can use.
News and views, huh?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. You know, my mind gets scrambled after I have seen. So that's why I haven't said anything.
B, what you gotta say? Is B sleep?
Man, look, man, it's a joy. No, it's a joy as always. We get together, get our minds together. Hopefully, we reached out and touched somebody. Reach one, teach one.
Mm-hmm. Brother John Muhammad, what you have to say for us? Give us something.
Well, I would definitely like to thank you, Monkey Man, for allowing me to have an exposure to the great minds that are on the panel as well as in the chat. It was good to see and meet others. It's definitely good to elaborate on a subject that's dire to our community. And I want to reiterate that community, that common unity is important. It starts in your home and then it expands to your environment. So I would definitely like to leave the people with a jewel, and there's three things that has no value if you don't share it in this life. You can have all the knowledge that you have. If you don't share it, it has no value. You can have all the love that you want. If you don't love anyone other than yourself, it has no value. And you can have all the money in the world, and if you don't spend it, it has no value. So we should be found being responsible as men, accountable as women, and making sure that we share these three most valuable things that we all possess with each other to be a benefit to each other. And I say that in peace and blessings. My podcast will be up soon at the end of the month of October, October 20th, if all is successful. And it'll be called From the Mind of Jah. And of course, I will be inviting all of you on to share and elaborate many different conversations and many different opinions that we shall conclude to be facts once we elaborate on those opinions. So I give you all my peace and my love and greatness to all the brothers and sisters and the kings and queens. Definitely, let's talk about it, because Monkey Man ain't about no monkey business if it ain't about advancing our people. Peace.
Peace. Man, and last but not least, my boy Cross. If it wasn't for Cross, it wouldn't be no platform.
No, man, it's you, man.
You know I'm gonna give it to you. If it wasn't for you, Cross, it wouldn't be no platform, man.
I don't like all that, man. But
okay, I'm lying. He ain't had nothing to do with it.
I did a motherfucking thing for this nigga. Yeah, I ain't shit. But look, man, I want to say something on some real shit, man. Hey, man, I told you before.
Cross my manager. Nah, stop being modest, my brother. Take those flowers while we giving it.
I just look, man. Here's the thing, man. I just want to say, man, I tap in with y'all, man, because you know what? One thing about you, Monkey Man, I see truth in you, just like your man, the domino effect. It's truth. Again, we just got to stay on and trust the process. That's all I tell everybody. You know me from dealing with people that seen me with Charles and that, a lot of people, he's controversial. That's my homeboy. That's my nigga. I've known him for years. Dewberry, that's my nigga. Ja, other celebrities, I deal with them on a personal level. But one thing I understand is if you walk in truth, they ain't gonna put you in the bullshit. And I told you that. I told you that when that one day you got on there and you asked me a question. I said, hey, bro, you greater than that. Don't get your ass on there fucking with that nigga shit. And I'm just gonna be honest. You know I told you that. Because I think that you're greater than that. And the people that look at you and what you done went through, man, I always tell people, in order to have a testimony, you gotta have a test.
Amen.
I'm gonna say it again. In order to have a testimony, you had to have a test. So I want you to give the test out. Because God, one thing I learned about God, if he loves you so much, he'll give you the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Whether he put people in your plates, whether he put something right there, he'll give you the cheat sheet. So I just thank God for putting me in the path for you, man. I see great things with you, man. You talking, even when we got down, you said, man, what I name it? I was like, man, Monkey. You said, talking monkey bit, man, that's cold. Run with it. And I'm going to support you on that. I'm going to support the panel. Like I said, that's my dog. And if I got to bring a whole bunch of people on here so you can get your message out and these kings and queens on here can get their message out, then you already know me, bro. I do it.
Right.
I ain't got no problem. So I want to thank everybody, all the mature women and men that's logical, but also emotional, but can decipher the two. I want to thank all y'all on the panel. And I think that, again, we need to push and support him, and I'm willing to do that. And I'll pull whoever. I'll call Ja. Next time y'all go out, I'm gonna have King on here. I'm gonna get whoever.
Yeah, my boy Born. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all check him out. So y'all ever get a chance, check me out. Plug Podcast by Cross Yard. I got 1 and 2. I'm gonna go live tonight. I'm just gonna be on some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So I usually do news that bring awareness, like shit that we don't know. I might throw something in there just to be serious. But other than that, tonight I ain't been on there in a while, and everybody been asking me to go on there. So but I was happy to come on here, and I thank y'all again. I don't know what else to say, but I thank y'all again. Y'all some real ones. Y'all some real ones.
You too.
Thank you.
Nah, for sure.
Well, tonight there's been a real deep conversation about domestic violence and really awareness of being really how to be real men and women. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for
That's all right. Go ahead, nigga. You already know.
All right, Jermaine.
That's what's real. That's the truth.
That's what's up. Seriously.
I just thank y'all for being a part of this with me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have somebody to walk with. You can't never walk in no type of journey alone. You gotta always have somebody with you. And I thank God for putting you guys in the place
That's all right, my nigga. That's all right.
We love you.
I told you built for this, my nigga. That's a humility, dog. Humility.
I thank God for y'all, man.
Don't never forget that. Don't never forget.
Hey, my brother, love is felt. A woman tears is defense. A man tears is diamond dust, bro. So it's invaluable. You heard? So you give us that diamond dust, bro, so that we can have value from you. You got the same for me, bro, as I got to you.
Facts.
Like I say, man, I appreciate y'all for believing in me, and helping me believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? One thing we say in AA is God to do for us what we can't do for ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? And He's been doing a lot in my life, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, man, we need to start holding each other accountable. If you see, I heard Charleston White say this, man, if you see somebody doing wrong and you don't say nothing about it, you in agreement with it. So it's time to start speaking up, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I always say, man, is pray for somebody you don't like. Pray for somebody that, probably been abusive to you. Like we talking about domestic violence right now, pray for that person. I don't care how bad they did you. Pray for your parents that wasn't in your life or whatever the case may be. Because one thing about it, the power in prayer help anybody. It might change around to be the best person in your life. So with that, y'all, like I said, I thank y'all. I love y'all. And I'm finna leave on this note right here.
Love you too, bro.
Yeah.
And good night to all.
Good night. Like, for real. Yeah. You know what I mean? For real. Yeah. For real. Yeah. They be like, don't where you been. I been in a wing. Look, I'm getting thin. Chasing at the ends. Fucked up and a twin. Yep, I'm going in. Something so good, I don't know what to tell her. Every time I see them hold me in and they be like, yeah. Pull up. I ain't say nothing to her. Acting like you knew her. Bitch, all on my jewels. Bet I pull that to her. Hit you with that ruler. Hit you with that AK. I bet it make you move. My young perk stay stacking. We ain't doing no lacking. Big pistol, I'm packing. Bet I blow your back. My foreign wants some action. Tonight she want that action. Right now I want that action. You know I blow her back. I'm back, making on hold. I play it how it goes. I make her touch her toes. Pull her hair and grab her throat. And these girls, they love me. I swear these girls, they love me. They be like, yo, where you been? I been in a wing. Look, I'm getting thin. Chasing at the ends. Fucked up and a twin. Yep, I'm going in. Something so good, I don't know what to tell her. Every time I see them hold me in and they be like, yeah.
I keep a smile up on my face. I ain't living fake. Put you in your place, then put her in a place. This trap be screaming rape. YL on the bass. I skied in the whole face. Plus the life I'm living great. I'm no trap guard, but I'm trapping. I be trapping. I'm like ski tart on these hoes when I be capping. And I love her, she slow motion. Looking at her motion. I'm deep up in the ocean. Keep that pussy fresh like ocean. She don't care about what you say. I keep her with the fake. That pussy wet like lakes. Plus the life she living great. And these girls, they love me. I swear these girls, they love me. They be like, yo, where you been? I been in a wing. Look, I'm getting thin. Chasing at the end. Fuck the and a twin. Yep, I'm going in. Something so good, I don't know what to tell her. Every time I see them hold me, and they be like, Tell me where you been. I've been in a wing. Look, I'm getting thin. Chasing at the ends. Fuck the and a twin. Yep, I'm going in. Something so good, I don't know what to tell her. Every time I see them hold me, and they be like, It's YL on them 808.